Hey everybody, what's up? It's Thursday, January 25th. This is the Scandalous Scandal Recap. I am your host, Larry Brown Jr., joined by my fantastic friend, the Janiyah Wright. Janiyah, good evening. How do you do?
Evening, LBJ. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday. It is Scandal Night. The chat has begun. I
Yes, we
love it,
are here.
LBJ.
We are here. Tonight was season 7, episode 9 of the final season of our favorite show to watch, recap, analyze, and make predictions, Scandal. Tonight's episode was called Good People, and we know exactly now why this episode was called Good People. There are so many other good, in fact, great people who are in the chat right now. Janiyah, tell us who we have here tonight, and let's jump into this conversation.
LBJ, this is once again evidence of you and I having a psychic connection. I was going to use your comment about good people as a
Really?
segue. Yes, I was. Yes, I was, and you did it.
I love it. I love it.
We have many good people in the chat. The family is all here. Ann Richardson, Kelly, Charlene McKinney, Coffee Light and Sweet has been with us since the beginning. PG, oh my gosh, LBJ, Linda Gaston. We are rolling, LBJ.
Absolutely.
Who else do we have?
We've got Ann Richardson here. Candace is probably watching upstairs. You shouted out Linda. There are so many more people who were here, and something happened. Yes, my chat froze for some reason. Anyone else? Oh, here we go. Yes, we're all here. Kat Harlem, Patricia
Rachel Farber is
Hey, Rachel, how are you? Patricia Holcomb is here. ML Case is here. We are D Hill.
Nelson.
Yes, Mike. Hey, cuz, what's up? Dr. D Hill is here. Charlene McKinney. We also have Inkwell. Are you on the vineyard right now, Inkwell? Are you on the vineyard right now? Everyone is here. I see you've been chatting in the chat. Everybody, Grace.
Yes,
what's up, Grace? How do you do?
Harmony. Come on, LBJ. Everybody's here.
Let's jump into this conversation. I mean, tonight we finally got to figure out what happened in the basement when Olivia got to the house. So tonight's episode essentially picks up where we left off at the season, the mid-season finale, where Quinn is about to get married. She's donned in her lace dress and she's on the elevator, headed up to OPA to prepare for her wedding, her very quaint, intimate wedding, in the conference room with that amazing table that I really hope that I could get donated to me for this empty room that I'm sitting in right now, so that I could furnish it, because I love that table. Anyway, they're going to have all kinds of macarons and wedding cake and vittles, probably from Getty's Burgers, like mini Getty's Burgers and stuff, at this reception for the celebration of the nuptial celebration of Quinn and Charlie. And just as we suspected, when we saw all of this, Papa Pope is atop the elevator because this man has gone to the Scandalous version of Sears and purchased a suitcase that he eventually puts Quinn in to remove her from OPA. Janiyah, when you saw this, what was going through your mind? Knowing what we know transpired leading up to Rowan taking shots in the basement while Olivia was upstairs.
LBJ, let me just say, my first thought as I watched Eli Rowan, creeping through an elevator shaft to get Quinn, my first thought was, oh, look how we have fallen. Look how the blessed have fallen, LBJ. Gone are the days where Eli has a whole team to deploy. He must now do the dirty work himself, LBJ. Where are his minions? Where's B6, 13, 14, 15, and 16? Where are they, LBJ? They're nowhere to be found. So that was my first thought. He's now having to do the hard work. So we see Eli Rowan Pope creeping in. He is the one, it turns out, that has snatched Quinn from the elevator, and he has put her into a suitcase. And LBJ, I know you were thinking the exact same thing I was thinking when you saw the suitcase. What was it, LBJ?
So when I saw the suitcase, I'm just like, Rowan's going to put her in a suitcase. He's going to take her out of the office, and this is how he gets Quinn to the home without the cameras watching. So he gets to this house.
LBJ, you missed my psychic prompt. And this is, we need to really get our spidey senses going, because LBJ, what I wanted you to say was, Quinn ain't fitting that suitcase.
Wait, so Candace said the exact same thing. Okay, so yes, we talked about this. We should talk about this. Quinn did not fit in that suitcase.
No way, no how.
However, you have to use suspension of disbelief, which is a theatrical term. Use your suspension of disbelief to really get into the way that she was in this suitcase, right? The whole setup was there. We meet this amazingly
I
great.
can suspend my disbelief. I can't suspend that pregnant belly. Okay.
Well,
And no way.
he purchased a suitcase which was for an adventure. So he needed to pack for an adventure. One, two, he received the recommendation not to purchase the suitcase that he was originally going to purchase. The man said, "Get this one because it's bigger and it's more durable. This one we get way too many returns on." Rowan couldn't risk Quinn falling out of that suitcase when he took it out of. Listen. Suspend your disbelief, folks. Okay. I know it was very hard to believe a pregnant woman could get in there, but Rowan probably listen. This girl did everything for B613, but live in the hole. So she probably has to figure out how to get her pregnant self into a suitcase as part of her hazing for B613.
Are you trying to say that as a part of their orientation, they take yoga and curl themselves up into little balls?
Namaste. Namaste. Sun salutation, everybody. Sun salutation.
LBJ, well, then it worked. It worked because she must have been extremely bendy to fit into that suitcase. But I've suspended my disbelief, and I'm now believing that she fit in there, LBJ. And so he puts her in the suitcase. He rolls her into this fortress that he's created in her basement. Quinn wakes up in a complete tizzy. And she's screaming for help. She's screaming for help. She's in darkness and she's in some dirty bed in some basement. She has no idea where she is. And then her captor is revealed to her, and it is none other than Eli Rowan Pope. She, of course, begins to spit venom at him, LBJ, and to tell him to the left and also to the right. Okay. But then LBJ, he reveals that he doesn't really want to kill her. He said, "Your currency. I'm going to trade you for my freedom." He says, "You'll be out of here by tonight." And he literally just leaves. And she's calm because she does believe that Olivia would trade her. She believes that she is a valuable currency. And so she gets a little bit of peace of mind from that, LBJ. LBJ, in that moment, what were you thinking of Quinn in the way that she was handling all of this and her reaction?
You know what I really thought of Quinn in the midst of all this? I looked at her and I said, Katie Lowe's, you're such a juicy, beautiful, pregnant woman. Because she's really pregnant in real life when they shot this, right? I said, she's such a juicy, beautiful, pregnant woman. Candace is like, yeah, she's beautiful, pregnant. And so, but as for Quinn, I really thought that Quinn was going to fight for her life if she needed to fight for her life. Quinn is now QPA. Quinn has been handed the white hat. Quinn also knows both sides of the fence because she also is a part of that secret society of just a few people who still remain alive on the face of the earth in Scandal who were a part of B613. So she knows how Rowan operates to a point, right? She also knows this man is a little rusty and this man is a little caught up in a few things. So she also knows how Olivia gets down with her father. So she's taking all this into consideration and being the amazing character in this show that we know and love. And my favorite character on the show, Quinn, she lays the smack down on Rowan. And she's like, you know what? No matter what happens, what you do, I'm in this. And then she's like, wait a second, you are crazy. Let me figure out if you're going to kill me. If you do, like, you can't kill me. And then it's revealed later in the conversation with Rowan and Quinn in the basement. He's like, look, I'm not going to kill you. And he says, you're B613. Remember, no pregnant women, and then women and children first. So I have to save you because that is our rule for B613. You're good. Let's just get this whole thing over and done with. When she got that assurance from him, she was okay at that point, right? Then we fast forward to let's take a step back to what we saw in the mid-season finale. And that was Rowan and Olivia sharing not a glass of Dubélé, but there was another glass of wine that he was having at this. So listen, here's the thing. Here's a plug that we really should do for the Scandal recap. We should have everyone tweet Shonda Rhimes and team at Shondaland and be like, listen, take the lead from Oprah. She has the, oh, that's good sides and soups that you can get. By the way, I tried the mashed potatoes and I tried the mac and cheese. They're very, very good. It's comfort foods with the healthy twist. I promise you, if ABC and Shondaland came out with Dubélé, folks will be buying it off the racks. And you have to do it as a set. You have to do the bottle of Dubélé next to the Olivia Pope wine glass, which I forgot the proper name for, but I'm sure if Dan Blakemore was in with us live, he would tell us the shape of that particular wine glass. I thought
you were going to talk about the goblets that President Fine had, because you love them so
that's
much.
For the tea. So they should come up with a line of Scandal beverages, right? Right. There's the whole tea thing that we have going on. But we have so Coffee Light and Sweet says Miss KOTV they're talking in the conversation. I just saw my name light up here. So Miss KOTV said something in the chat. She killed Harrison, she killed Wes on How to Get Away with Murder, and she had the nerve not to kill Quinn. She had not to kill Quinn, talking about Shonda. I am tight. Oh, Miss KLTV is upset. She's upset that Shonda really didn't kill Quinn. We cannot let Quinn die. You can't say that in my presence. No. So Coffee Light and Sweet says, Miss KLTV, I know my heart is breaking. We're working on the repass now. I'm on potato salad duty, and Larry got the wings. Coffee Light and Sweet, what do you know about my wings? I make some amazing wings. Can I make a personal plug right here? Everyone go to Instagram, since you can now follow hashtags, and follow hashtag Eat with LBJ. You can see some of the amazing things that I love to cook in my foodie passion. I'm a hobby chef, and you can see some of the chicken wings or the chicken wangs I like to make. And I am a wing elitist. So Coffee Light and Sweet, thank you for shouting out my chicken wings, even though you've never had them. Back to this. And Janaya, and you're on canned sodas. Of all things, you're on canned sodas. Hilarious.
Well, it shows Coffee Light and Sweet how well you know me, that canned sodas is probably the best idea. So
but listen, you have to be specific. It can't be Shasta. We need Coke or Pepsi products. Okay.
Oh,
no Kroger brand, no Safeway brand, no Pathmark, none of that. We need Coke or Pepsi products.
But LBJ, do you remember Faygo?
Listen, do I remember Faygo? Excuse me, pause. You're from Pittsburgh, but ma'am, where am I from? I am from Cité des Trois. I am from Detroit, okay? Faygo is made and bottled in Detroit.
Oh, so really? I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, yes, I grew up on some Faygo. Don't play games. Anybody from Detroit, stand up if you're watching this in the comments right now. Shout out to Faygo. We love Faygo. Holler at me with some Red Pop and some Rock and Ride. Give me a float. I'm set. Take me back to my childhood. Oh gosh, don't even talk about food. You're making me hungry.
But I have to also plug Eat with LBJ, you guys, because I have eaten with LBJ and the man can cook. Okay, so I would also encourage you to check him out on Instagram.
All right, now, so let's hop back into Scandal, right?
Let's hop back into Scandal.
Quinn is alive. There's no need. Coffee Light and Sweet, you can stop all that elbow grease you're putting into stirring that good potato salad with that Duke's mayo, and I'll stop down on cooking the wings and saucing the wings for those that like sauced wings. And let's get back into her being alive, right? So after we have the whole reckoning monologue that I performed for everyone in the chat, the reckoning is here. Your reckoning is here, Olivia. I am the hill and the high water. I am going to sip my wine, and you're going to have your reckoning, because your reckoning has come, and I want my bones back. Checkmate. Checkmate. This is what this man is performing in the restaurant. Olivia's like, bye. It's just like bit back.
I have to pause you about these bones, because there's some conversation in the chat about these bones.
Thank you. Bring it out. Bring it out. We have to have this conversation.
You know what? Because LBJ, what is up with the bones? Okay. To this day, there is just some attachment. In the beginning, it all made sense because it had to do with Sandra TT. Right. But we thought, but now over time, it's just become so strange. What is the nature of his attachment? Kat Harlem says, I think there are government codes in those bones. And Rachel Farber says, I like your theory, referring to the theory about the government codes. But she says, I thought it was symbolic. Didn't think about something hidden in the bones. LBJ, where are you on this? What do you think is going on with those bones?
Listen, so if you follow me at Larry Brown Jr. on Twitter, you will see that I asked during the broadcast, stated during the broadcast, we must find out what the correlation of these bones are to this show. He is too keen on these bones and overall dinosaurs. Remember, he's at the Smithsonian, where he can be connected to this thing, right? And is this the holy grail of codes for the USA of Scandal? Is there something else? Is there some kind of weird correlation in his mind with these bones?
Well, Grace is saying that there is a correlation, and it's an emotional connection. Grace is saying those were the bones Sandra, she said Toot and Sandra. I love it. Why didn't we use Toot and Sandra? That's better than Sandra teaching.
Toot and Sandra or Toot and Sandy.
Those were the bones that Toot and Sandra gave him. Thank you, Grace. LBJ, what if it truly is just an emotional connection? What is
But here's something we have to also consider. Did you not notice the dinosaurs on the table? They know that these dinosaurs, there's something prehistoric, something that potentially predates. There's something there, and we've got to crack this code before the final episode of Scandal airs, and we have to do it here so we can say on record, on tape, we said it before it aired, as if we were in the writers' room. We were like, hey, we know, we're so smart. You're B613. We're Y11. Aha, we're almost to Z. Get up on our level. Level up.
Level up, please. LBJ, I'll tell you, I continue to be mystified. I have no idea what these bones could be about. I'm struggling to choose a theory to attach myself to. I mean, at this point, we know that there is something that they are going to reveal at some point that makes these bones significant.
Yep.
And I am just waiting, LBJ. There was even a point where I thought that maybe the bones had something in them that was like they were lined in gold or something, and it was his money, his getaway money. LBJ,
I thought about that theory as well. I know we're talking about bones a while, but we need to talk about this because tonight a lot of attention was placed on dinosaurs and the bones again with that repeat of the monologue. So we've got to pay attention because there's nothing in this show that's just for fun. So I think that we're going to keep notes here on these bones, but we also need to figure out what is Rowan's attachment to them that predates what we're in now. So my thought is that there's something connected to him and childhood and innocence, him grounded, that keeps him in his baseline, and that's what keeps the pulse and the rhythm for him to be able to operate that B613 life and not just lose it all, right? And so when he sees these dinosaurs, it takes him back to that place of his innocence that makes him feel like what? A good person. Oh, boom, put some fire on it. Boom. So that's my theory there. And I also say that's why he's so taken aback. That's why he's so smitten about children and really being a father to Olivia and protecting her, because he's gone that way. And as a young man, as a boy coming up into these ranks, that is probably what took him back to that place. So that's my thing on the bones for now. I'm sure it will evolve as time goes on, because
they'll keep giving us a little bit. At this point, I feel like this is the one piece where they aren't giving us enough that we can even start to get to an educated guess. Grace, though, LBJ is
I saw it. Yes, take it away.
Thinking along the same lines as you. She said the bones bring him back to before he was B613, before espionage. He was a young paleontologist that had a sweetheart named Sandra. He was young, gifted, and black. Sing it, LBJ.
To be young, gifted, and black. Aretha takes it to church. She goes, to be young, gifted, and black. She goes, oh, thank you, Jesus. He was like,
yeah.
To tell the world. Yeah, there's all kinds of versions, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. One day when we have some time, I'll tell you guys the story of my mother and father reliving their college days, singing that song, reenacting how they marched across the campus of University of Pittsburgh singing it. I'll tell you about it another time.
I thought you were going to tell me you mimed to it.
Don't be putting my business on the street, I'll be saying. Coffee Light and Sweet says that we're back to the bones. In a previous season, Papa Pope has a long conversation over dinner with Olivia about types of dinosaurs and their ranking in the prehistoric kingdom. That holds the key to something. Oh, see, and this is why you have to watch this show with a community. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Thank you so much, LBJ. There's something to these bones, LBJ. It'll be revealed over
And there's
time.
something also to us and our shenanigans in the Scandal recap. Listen, folks, people have been asking us to review stuff beyond Scandal after this is over. We're considering it, but Ida Matrix wants to tie something directly to Scandal, and she asks Janiyah that we sing a full song before this series ends. So we're gonna have some practices over Google Hangout and YouTube Live, and then we're gonna have to perform a song. Maybe we'll do like a Cliff and Claire farewell song at the end of Scandal. Or
oh
something.
my gosh. LBJ, that is such a good idea. I love it. I love it so much because LBJ, there's one thing that I was a little uncomfortable with when we started all of this, and that is that whatever we do here will live forever. That's the thing about the internet. It'll never go away.
Ever. Never, ever, ever, ever.
And now, LBJ, I become so comfortable. I love this idea of us just singing our exit, just like an episode of The Cosby's.
Oh, yes, exactly. So you were talking about living on forever, and you know who was worried about living on forever in this, or something living on forever in tonight's episode? It was my favorite character, Quinn. As she was in the basement, this woman began hallucinating. Rowan brought her some cereal for food. She's like, "Listen, man, pardon me, drinking ginger ale. Sorry." So she's like, "Listen, man, I'm pregnant, and I need you to feed me. Like, feed me, Seymour, feed me." Feed me, feed me, Seymour.
And she asked for her medicine. She asked for her medicine, LBJ.
Her green pill, exactly. What is the green pill? Women who've had babies.
I mean, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, but I would just.
I cannot. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, but I've suspected it's a prenatal vitamin, LBJ. You know, and you need them. You need them to balance
Candace,
things
if you're
out.
in the chat still, Candace, you had gummy prenatals, didn't you? No, she took a prenatal. Somebody talk about the green vitamin.
There are several varieties.
There are. Yes.
You know, how do I know that? Just because the pharmaceutical industry preys upon us. So I know there are probably lots of kinds of LBJ, and I'm sure that was just her prenatal vitamin, because Quinn has shown herself to be she's in love with this baby. She's in love with the life that she's planning with Charlie, LBJ, and she's being careful. She's being careful, LBJ. And so her concern right now in all of this, it's less for herself and it's more for her baby. I mean, we see her while she's sitting there in the bunker. She's rubbing her stomach and saying, "Baby, just please keep kicking. Just please keep kicking." You know, her mama bear instincts start to come out. You know, Coffee Light and Sweet says, "Y'all pregnant women are fearless. Those hormones can make them super warriors." She rolled right up on Papa Pope with no fear whatsoever. Mama even had a choke chain ready. There was a point in the episode, LBJ, where Quinn just did what she needed to do. You know, we were watching everything that we saw in the prior episodes unfold. We were watching Eli Rowan Pope have his confrontations with Olivia. We were watching Eli Rowan Pope talk with Jake. You guys remember that time where Eli Rowan Pope was talking to Jake in the car, and Jake is basically saying, "Listen, you playing chicken with the wrong one, because this Olivia is not the daughter that you know. This is some other beast that we've all now collectively created." The other thing, though, that Jake did was he gave Rowan a little hint. He said, "You're not as prepared as you think you are, Rowan." Rowan took the hint from Jake, because they're always speaking a secret language to each other. And he realizes that even though he's created this bunker in the basement, they are still in his home periodically. They've wiped out his weapons arsenal. And so what does Papa Pope do? As he's having these power plays with Olivia, he's having these interactions where he's trying to, you know, still leverage this currency of Quinn. LBJ, he traces himself right on back, okay, to the Walmart. Okay, you guys, can you believe how Sears, Walmart, some generic superstore was involved in this episode and so present? LBJ, so present. Eli Rowan Pope, he befriends that same sales rep that LBJ was talking about at the top of the show, who helped him to pick a suitcase. Eli Rowan Pope, he goes back and talks to that guy several times, coerces the guy into helping him to buy guns on his employee discount, goes out to dinner and starts to create what appears to be a friendship. LBJ, what was your thinking about Eli Rowan Poe really bonding with this man? I mean, a piece of it was obviously because he had some larger motives related to the to getting merchandise from the store. But LBJ, what were you thinking about it?
So I love that you brought us to this point of the conversation. So we meet this gentleman. We see this guy at the top of the episode. We open the
Marv.
episode. Yeah, Marv. His name is Marv, and then we later learn his name is Marvin Heward. Marvin Heward. So we were there with this guy in the Sears Mart, we'll say, at the top of the episode, and Rowan is in there. He's like looking at it, admiring. You think he may be buying a washing machine? No, it's luggage because he's going on this big adventure. And the man tells him, he says, listen, get this bag, as I said before, because it's durable, long-lasting, strong, and it won't break on you. Rowan buys the bag, right? He makes chummy with Marv. Then he comes back and he's like, oh, here you are again. Oh, so good to see you. This price tag, says Rowan. And he's like, yeah, that's the price tag, man. He's like, these DC people come in here and they want to like bebop and be hipsters and be all this and that. We're robbing them. Witness, because we had to go through all this stuff for our son. We're robbing them on all these high prices at these baby boutiques around here. But you came in the Sears Mart. We're going to give you this high price for this low price. He's like, oh, I'll take it. Rowan buys a crib at this point from Sears Mart. Then he goes into a bar and he just happens to run into the salesman. We learn the salesman's name is Marv. And we learn also that Rowan has introduced himself to Marv as who? Montel Damascus.
Right.
What's with that name Damascus?
LBJ, so Akusa said in the chat, did he use Damascus again?
He brought Damascus in again, yes. Did. But there was a different, remember, we heard Damascus Bainbridge. And now we've heard Montel Damascus. Where is our associate producer? Associate producer, we need you. We don't have one. We're it. You guys are it. So listen, I need someone to research the following things. Research the significance of Damascus, potentially. Bainbridge, Montel, and look at the significance of B613 in dinosaurs, see if there's a correlation, or like, how sometimes bones and vertebrae are numbered? What does the B613 bone or vertebrae mean? My mind is still like working on this whole B613 thing, only because Shonda gets into that, because remember, Rowan talked about the weight of a human head before on the show. He could be that twisted, guys. All right, so we see him, Montel Bainbridge, Rowan, talking to at the bar. Montel Damascus returns home to find what Janiyah said, all his artillery gone. This is after Jake said to him, you are not as, what did he say? You are not as ready as you think you are. Whatever the quote was, I thought I wrote it down.
That's it.
Yeah, you're not as ready as you think you are, right? So then he goes into he goes back to the store, and when he goes back to the store, he goes back and asks if you all sell handguns. And Marv is like, whoa, dude, brother, man, I can't do a handgun thing with you. He's like, Rowan, and Rowan being the black man that he is, and Shonda being the brilliant woman that she is, they take this opportunity to dabble in social commentary again. And he's like, I can't sell you this handgun. There's too much going on. He's like, well, how about let me get you your employee discount, and then you give me the handgun, and I'm going to get it back, and then you'll transfer the license over to me. He's like, you mean you want me to buy it? With my discount, eventually give it to you. He's like, yeah, it'll be fine. Now we know immediately, no, man, don't buy the gun, because it's going to be in your hand.
Don't you do it?
That this handgun that potentially will kill someone is what you purchased as this employee, and you're going to be the one painted all over the news as this serial killer or this mass shooter, right? Fast forward to later in the conversation, Rowan's like, oh, what? Let me guess. Is it because I'm black that you're not going to sell me this handgun? He's like, no. Listen, like, we both bleed red, white, and blue. Like, we do that. He was like Oprah. Like Oprah, like we there is no, like, there's no color. I don't see colors like Oprah. And he's like, okay, fine. Well, let me get this handgun, dude. And he's like, no, we don't do that. I love that it took that moment to like interject in the social commentary there. Go back and watch it. There's way more details that you can find out there. So we go back into this, we leave the handgun conversation and get back to the house. When he gets back to the house, as I was saying, all the guns are missing and the dino cam on the table has been flipped around. Now, all episode long, we see Rowan talking to this itty bitty purple dinosaur, Dino, the last dinosaur. And he's like on the table, just like looking at Rowan the entire time, mouth open, like, rah, like mid roar, right? And so he's talking like, yeah, you don't want to roar with me. You want to bumble with the bee. I'm Rowan. And so the dinosaurs turned around. Rowan comes in. He's like, somebody's been in my house. Flips the dinosaur around. And what does he do? He takes a monologue like any baby boomer black parent does. Anybody ever had a black parent anybody have black parents, first of all? And with your black parents, do your black parents know how to slip in and out of quoting black poetry, black plays, anything black? I'm talking about African proverbs, Bible verses, anything you name it that can enculturate their children. They are going to slip in and out of it. What does Rowan do? This man begins to take I to America and starts to quote it, and he's like, oh, you know what? He said, you tell her I am the darker brother. He's shucking and jiving now. And whenever he shucks and jives, he's mad. Oh, you tell her I am the darker brother. Tell her I am at the table. I too am America. Father is who I am. It's classic black baby boomer parent. I love that, Janiyah. I feel like you can connect with that somehow.
LBJ, I completely can. And you know what? I also thought that it was one of those times where Shonda was using her platform, because there's so much out there that never makes its way to the mainstream, LBJ, just in terms of other classics of literature and poetry and just all of the fine arts that don't make it to the mainstream in the way that they should. And so I think this was Shonda, in the same way that she uses the Scandal Jam session to remind us, LBJ, about some of that good old music. I think she was reminding us about that. I think she was reminding us, LBJ. And I love that she did that, LBJ.
She did that. And then shortly thereafter, I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
Well, LBJ, I was just going to talk about, you had started, talking about the relationship with Marv. And LBJ, it symbolized a lot, LBJ. Grace, talks about the fact that Rowan is lonely, that she says, I think Rowan went in to manipulate Marvin and get his supplies on the low, and the friendship was an unexpected bonus. Rowan is lonely. LBJ, there is something that we have to remember here, that at the end of the day, there is an isolation that Eli Rowan Pope exists in. And I mean, LBJ, before it was an isolation of his own choosing, right? When he was command, he was choosing to be isolated, but he had the power. LBJ, he still has that isolation, but he has no power. And I'm just mentioning that to say there is a level of trauma that Eli Rowan Pope is experiencing here that is extremely, extremely deep. Beyond the loss of power, there's a loss of power over his daughter. We watch him, LBJ, be told what to do by her, be belittled by her throughout this season, and really truly put in a box. And at this point, he is also feeling guilt, LBJ, because he has absolutely turned his daughter into the person that she is right now. And I just have to wonder why he acts surprised sometimes. Okay, like he didn't expect her to become him. But as he's watching it, LBJ, he's so guilty. He's so guilty. Mm-hmm. So I just think about, B613s, they're robots in many regards, but the ones that we have gotten to know well, at the end of the day, they carry so much trauma with them. And I just think about Eli Rowan Pope right now. And I'm not saying we should pity him, okay, because he is the devil. Okay, let me be clear. He is still Satan. Okay, I ain't forget about the stuff he's done, LBJ. He is still on my list. All right. He cannot be trusted, but at the same time, LBJ, we have to acknowledge that this man has really had some trauma, not just with Toot and Sandra TT, okay, any being played by Mama Pope. Okay, there's just been trauma after trauma. And so LBJ, just wanted to insert that as we are, finishing the storyline of Marv. And so
Totally.
why don't go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, totally. So as we wrap up Marv, okay, so wait,
Mm-hmm.
Grace, so a couple things here about Damascus, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
we've got Coffee Light and Sweet who says, perhaps Sunday school Bible class, the road to Damascus when Saul was traveling on a murder quest, then Saul was blinded after literally seeing the light. Okay, let's put that a
Mm.
pin in that. Then Grace comes in and says,
Mm.
by the way, Damascus is probably about the road to Damascus. Again, the reference to road to Damascus. It's about a turning point in life. When Saul turned into the Apostle Paul, come on, Bible scholars, come on. When Saul turned into the Apostle
Larry,
Paul,
did you just get the victory for 2 seconds?
oh, yay. I felt it. Felt it. Woo! Woo, on a Thursday. You can feel it too. If you touch the screen. Omarosa. Touch the screen. You can catch it too. All right. So she says, we are no good. We are no good.
It's so good to me. I love it.
So Grace says Damascus is probably about the road to Damascus. Mm-hmm. It's about a turning point in life. When Saul turned into the Apostle Paul, fooling with Rowan, folks are at a turning point, which could be why he uses the name Damascus. Very, very good. Very, very good. All right. So as we wrap up, Marv essentially is about to die. So let me say this about Marv. And someone else said this in the chat. When Marv said, "I know how to deliver babies," his fate was sealed.
It definitely was.
So there's two things that I thought about. His mouth. Exactly. And that Marv's like, dude, you just signed your death wish.
Why?
So Marv, I immediately thought that Marv was going to be in the basement, and I thought that Rowan was going to kill Marv instead of killing Quinn, because I still believed that Quinn was alive. Mm-hmm. And I thought that he was going to shoot Marv in the basement, and that was Marv's blood on him when he came back upstairs. That was the first thing I thought. Mm-hmm. The second thing I thought was, that's who was in the trunk of last week's episode. It was Marv's body, which is why Rowan's just like Willy Wonka, like, oh, great, there's a kid in the tubes in the chocolate room. Help, Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompa. And the police Oompa Loompa, the black van, Oompa Loompa van, came pulling up to take Marv's burned body away. God rest Marv. Yes, D Hill. That was my
Coffee Light and Sweet said, pour some out for homie Marv, y'all. Charlene McKinney said, pouring out some Hennessy for Marv. Rest in peace, Marv.
Rest. R.I.P. R.I.H. Rest in his care. Rest in his care. So
all he was doing was minding his business. LBJ.
He was such a great guy at Sears Mart. He was he was a great guy, and he also helped to deliver that baby. And Rowan killed him essentially after the deal was done. He killed Marv in that basement, and we now know that was Marv in that car. While this is going on, so let's take a few steps back and wrap up the episode, and we get into Rowan in his home, and that's when we enter and pick back up when Olivia comes in looking wonderful in that amazing cape that she wears. And I'm not into fashion, but I was like, Olivia really is like looking great in these dark colors that they're wearing, and they have money for wardrobe. Like, what are these checks looking like that these people are clearing out of the White House and everything else that she has? Because evidently Olivia, I saw on Twitter, Kerry Washington said that someone was like, girl, that's a great cape. I know it's called a cape. I would have called it a coat. She said, oh, girl, that's a great cape. Who's that by? She's like, Dior. I said, oh ho, poo, Dior.
Whoa.
Dior. It's by Dior. It's just sweet Dior. Just sweet Dior.
The R is silent. You don't need it.
Right. It's by Dyer. So Olivia walks in, she's calling the bluff, and then something happens. A Damascus, come on, Chaka Khan, I felt it. Here it is again. Damascus comes back. A Damascus happens. We have a Damascus moment. The Damascus moment. I love you guys. So the Damascus moment in the episode at the end is when Olivia comes in and she becomes like Keisha Damascus, right? She becomes Keisha Damascus because she tells him, kill her. I don't care. Go kill the girl.
Oh,
he goes downstairs and he attempts to kill her. He cannot kill her. She's like, don't kill me. He's like, all right, look, let's cut a deal. They cut this deal or whatever. He can't believe he's not going to kill her. He shoots into the wall or into the stair, into the step. He goes back upstairs. He splatters blood from the chain fight, the choke chain fight that he had with Quinn over his shirt. He goes and he covers his hand. He's like, "You want to go see the body?" And Olivia can't believe what she did. She crossed over. So now it's a complete mind trick in her head going on right now. Quinn is alive. Quinn is listening to these conversations that are happening. And she's like, "Nope, I don't want to see it." And he's like, "Okay, all right, give me my bones back." She said, "Just wait a few days. We can't let her go." She was like, "We have to bury the body. They are going to be looking for Quinn. We cannot let her be gone like this so fast." So
now LBJ, and I'm trying to suspend my disbelief here. I really am. But LBJ, to me, it was very hard for me to see Olivia in this living room, Quinn being in the bunker, being able to hear Olivia. Okay. Eli Rowan Pope opening and closing the bunker door repeatedly. And Quinn never yells out, "Hello, hello."
Remember, it's sound, Janaya, the setups have all been delivered. It's soundproof.
But LBJ,
no one can hear.
But is it LBJ because he's opening the door? And listen, I haven't had a science class in a really long time, but I'm sure there's something that there's an equation that has an X and a Y and probably a Z and an R, okay, that would explain that door being open means that she could have yelled up there, okay, and some sound would have traveled. The point is, she didn't even try, LBJ. There were just some pieces of this that just, were just a little hard to process, Anyway, just had to say it, LBJ.
That's fine. You're entitled to that. I just, again, I connect with what they're giving us, and I'm trying to crack codes that, and I don't know. I just couldn't connect.
Well, I came, I saw, I left is also helping us to crack some codes, and says, what if Olivia knew that Rowan was going to kidnap Quinn and gave Quinn a hairpin on what she knew he was building? And if she was watching that close, how could he build a bunker? See that? Well, now we've lost our disbelief again. And also, I saw, I left, said Olivia knows the rule about B613, not killing the women and children. And I saw, I left says, I have to believe that Olivia knows Quinn is okay. If she really believed Quinn was in trouble, she would have swatted him. So that's a theory I can get behind, LBJ.
I'm telling you,
all of this is still Olivia's manipulation.
Listen, Jake said you are not as savvy as you think you are, old man. Yep. And I'm telling you, that means something, okay? It's all connected. Let's not forget, Maya sat her daughter down. We don't know what happened in that conversation. We speculated. Let's rewind, folks. Come on, season 7, in this penthouse that she has, dressed in all white, like the angel, and she's like, she's all posed, like mama, like a good black baby boomer mama, like, Livy, you ain't nothing but the help. Again, trying to reinforce your black pride. You ain't nothing but the help. Let me show you what your daddy got. Like, she knows this stuff, right? And so remember, I said a while ago, I said, we've got to watch this 3-headed monster, mama, baby, daddy. Okay. There's 3 of them, and all 3 of them have crazy inside of them. And we've got to watch and figure out how the crazy is processing, because they are the heartbeat of this entire thing. This is a pope. This is a popeasco. Okay. And I'm telling you, we have to watch. There's some kind of connection there. And we also need to, and I'm getting into my predictions, we need to also watch Jake, because as a few of you mentioned in the chat, and I saw you commenting on this, Jake is a snake, Jake from State, for all that stuff. I saw it. But Jake
he gave a couple of hints there, I gotta say.
He did. We don't know who Jake is working for. We know that Jake was in the bunker in the White House watching the new B613 bunker, watching Rowan on the dyno cam. But we don't know what Jake's true motivation is. We don't know what Jake is. Is he a pawn, or is he at the true helm of this entire operation with Olivia by his side? Right. So
LBJ. I mean, you're raising the tough question now. Okay, because many a time many a time, this show has waited a few episodes to reveal the alliances.
Yes.
And so yeah, there's always a couple more layers to the scandal onion, LBJ. What is Jake up to? Okay. And LBJ, there's a piece of Quinn being in the basement that we've got to cover just really quickly. And there is before the big showdown between Eli Rowan Pope and Olivia, where Olivia calls his bluff, Quinn has all that time in the basement. In LBJ, there are points at which she starts to hallucinate a little bit. She's tired. She's malnutritioned. She did not get her prenatal vitamins. Okay. Yes, LB. Who is it?
Hello, I am new to this country. I am Kalimu Nze, and I do not know the word I don't know how you say it. You say
malnutrition.
Malnutrition. I don't think that's a word. I don't. I think the word is malnourished.
Okay.
That is it. Jumbo.
I feel LBJ, that was not just a fact check. That was a little pie on my face. And I'm just gonna get a napkin.
Because you can't believe that you said that word.
And I didn't even realize. You know how sometimes you say something dumb, but it's out and you just keep rolling? That's not what just happened right there. I didn't even realize I said it. So I wasn't even like playing it off or hoping no one noticed. LBJ, that was a legitimate mistake. So, all right, can I blame it on being tired? Let's go with that.
You can. I knew what you meant. That's why I was like, Janiyah told you that he said that she meant malnourished. Yeah. Let me have a little fun.
And LBJ, we need to know the name of that guy who just came by, because whatever it is, he's a pie maker. Okay.
My name is Kalimu Nze.
yeah, Mr. Muze from the pie factory that's now smeared all over my face. And LBJ, Quinn there, hungry. How about I use a nice simple 2-syllable word? Hungry. Okay. She's hungry, LBJ. In the basement, she's starting to hallucinate. When she's hallucinating, D Hill is trying to help me, saying Janiyah is just worn out. Yeah, let's go with that. It's been a very long day. Very long day. LBJ.
Coffee Light and Sweet, you're so ignorant for that comment that you put. I am not repeating that. That is so.
LBJ, Quinn starts to conjure images of the various gladiators, and they are giving her pep talks. They're keeping her alive. It's Huck, it's Charlie, it's Gabby Abby Red, it's Marcus, and LBJ. They're coming to her and they're saying to her, and I'll paraphrase, "Fight, girlfriend, fight." Okay.
It was. Let me just jump in and say I love moments like that. Like, this was Scandal, so I couldn't get caught up in that moment. But if you give me a good montage, or you give me a good moment of inspiration where the people who are connected to the character come in and they're like, "Yes, baby, you can do it." Like, go back, flashback to Akilah and the Bee.
Yeah.
And they all came in there and showed her how to spell precedent.
LBJ.
And it ended with her deceased father. I was like, "Oh, Akilah gonna win the Bee! Oh Lord, she gonna make it!" And so this was Quinn, Robert Lindsay's Akilah and the Bee moment. She had all the gladiators, all the ancestors, all the ancestors have gathered from the earth, and they came around Quinn, Robert Lindsay, and they said, "Daughter, go! You can do this. Grab the dust." Pull on the lessons that the ancestors have given you. We are with you. We stand. Pour the libation. Be free. I was like, "Yes, Quinn, get out." And she said, "I can MacGyver my way out of this." And she's like, "Oh, thanks, Liv." Hence Olivia being in on this whole thing / Mama Pope.
Yes, LBJ. I gotta say, you're bringing in the noise, bringing in the funk tonight, LBJ.
Oh, one of the best musicals ever.
It's so good. But LBJ, I'm looking at the time, and I gotta say, LBJ, we have to get to the big ending here. Quinn had been hallucinating. She found her inner strength through the monologue, through montage. Oh yeah, I am tired.
Yes, you were tired, Janiyah. Sorry.
I tried to drink a little pop right before the show started to perk me up.
Shout out to Fago, shout out to Pop. Yes, you're definitely tired because you just said Pop on the air. Yes.
I tried to drink some Fago Red and it didn't work. But LBJ, so what ends up happening, we all know, is that Olivia doesn't give in to Papa Pope's threats. As far as she maybe acts as if, at least the conversation goes between Eli Rowan Pope and Olivia, as if Quinn is dead. And so Olivia basically says, we just got to dispose of the body in a way that the gladiators are able to mourn her. And Olivia leaves. And Eli Rowan Pope is devastated because his plan, not only has his plan not worked, he has a pregnant lady in the basement.
Right.
Now, he has been leveraging his relationship with Marv over at Sears Mart. And he has furnished a bedroom for Quinn and the baby. And he goes down to Quinn and basically they have an understanding. Their understanding of things is that Olivia is cray to the cray, okay? And that it's probably best if she thinks that Quinn is dead. Because if she let Quinn die, it's probably because Quinn was the only person that had confronted her and had put two and two together, as far as she knows, because we also know now that Huck has found out and figured it out, but had put two and two together about her assassinating President Fine. And so they are trying to protect Quinn's life. And Quinn, she ends up delivering the baby in Eli Rowan Pope's house. Eli Rowan Pope, he calls Marv. Marv helps deliver the baby. Marv gets got, okay. And then Quinn, she wakes up in the bedroom that Eli Rowan Pope has made up for her. And the two of them essentially agree that it makes the most sense for her to stay there under his protection for a while. And so that is pretty much where things were left, LBJ.
Let me also add this that's very important to add to this conversation for this particular episode. And it's really this realization that Quinn Robin Lindsay had when she saw what Rowan Pope was doing for her. And she saw that he let her live. The baby was born. She's holding the baby. She's all that wrap that she had him in was the baby in. It's called a Beba wrap. Candace has one for Grace as well, and I've worn it. It's a really great wrap. Shout out to Beba. So they're doing this whole thing, right? And she's like, this man really has a heart. And what does she say to him? She said, you know what? You're a good person. You're really, really a good person. And I just want to bring that forward because she then goes and starts looking around the nursery, and this man has clothes for 0 to 3, 6 to 9, 1, 24 months, 1T, 2T, 3T. And it's like every size of the same article of clothing that he has. She's like, wait a second. This is going to be a long time that he anticipates me being in this home. Let me go find this man. And then she goes and she sees Marv in the basement, dead, bullet to the brain. He's cleaning it up. And he's like, somebody had to go. This is my good friend, Marv. He was a good person. And before he got there, she told him, you're a good person. And he said to her, we're all good people when someone gives us the chance to be. I think we need to hold on to that for something later on in this episode, as well as if some of you are B613 in your life, then you need to hold on to that as well. Go ahead, Janiyah.
LBJ, I feel like you just did a segue to closing thoughts. Because you know what, LBJ? Here's what we know. What we know is that Charlie has come to the house. We know that Charlie has seen that bedroom. Okay? Charlie has seen, I'm going to say it, that baby. Okay. And now the jig is up. And so, LBJ, what do you think? What's your prediction? What are you thinking, LBJ? You gave us your takeaway. What's your prediction?
So I told you last week, Quinn was in that house. I said Quinn was not dead. We know she's not dead. We know she's in that house. Where she's hiding, we'll see that. I think that Quinn is going to team up with Rowan to a point. But, Jake, someone's going to come in and reaffirm Quinn as the gladiator that she is, and she's going to return to QPA. And remember, I think they're going to return to the ultimate goal: take Daddy down. Daddy has to go down. Daddy must go. Will there be more collateral damage before Daddy goes? Yes. I think that we still need to lose. There's another main character that we have to lose. I don't think it's going to be Quinn, but somebody is going to go down. I also think that we still have to watch Mama. and we're going to see Maya come back at some point to reveal something, as if she's going to be sitting like in some high armchair in the penthouse, like, I knew you'd be back. Hey, Livy, like, you know, she's going to be that whole thing, and she may want to do the final gig on Rowan. There's also something to be said about Cyrus. We didn't touch on Cyrus this week, but let's not forget that we've got some Cyrus drama to iron out, and I think that there's going to be some intersection there. We already know that there's an episode coming March 1st that will deal with a crossover between How to Get Away with Murder, as well as Scandal. And we're going to see these two women come together, and we'll see if they're going to be helping each other, or if one's going to be trying to fix something, or if Olivia has to be defended by Annalise Keating. I don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that's coming. So stay tuned. But I will say that Rowan is not as savvy as he thinks he is. Olivia still has the upper hand. Remember, Olivia is so confident in every single move that she's taking, that it's gotta get her to a place of victory. That's what I've got to say.
Yes. LBJ, it's so good. It's so good. And LBJ, it's so hard for me to make any predictions at this point. You know, I will tell you that I think that as the season closes up, I think we're going to see more characters like Marv. And Rachel Farber gave us a correction, LBJ, that quote about good people originally came from Marv. You know, I think we're going to see more characters that come in like that help move the story along. I have to say that the show is wrapping up loose ends. I mean, that's also part of the reason for all of these various montages, you know, and these periods of reflection that people are having. You know, LBJ, I also know for sure that Charlie will do whatever Quinn wants him to do. And so if the next scene after Charlie's choking out Eli Rowan Pope, if it's Quinn coming around the corner and Quinn says, "Don't kill him, I'm in cahoots," Charlie will be fine with it. You know, I think if Quinn asks Charlie to come and be a part of their plot, you know, he'll be fine with it. I have to say, LBJ, it is just very hard to believe that all of this could be going on in the house and Eli Rowan and Olivia not know. So it's hard for me to make a prediction, but I can just pose a question. You know, if she knew enough to know where his weapons were stored, she knew enough to potentially give Quinn a pin that she'd be able to use for the bunker. LBJ, does she just know everything that's going on? So I don't have a prediction. I'm raising a question, LBJ. But tonight, LBJ was definitely one of those episodes that we're going to look back on and find little clues. I know they revealed things that we missed, and we're going to 2 episodes from now be like, oh, that's what that meant.
Yes, I think we need to totally go back and I think you need to get your Easter basket and go back and look for Easter eggs in this episode, because Coffee Light and Sweet might be bringing up as we wrap tonight. Say good night to everyone. She says, wait a minute. There was a newborn in tonight's episode. Why was the baby 8 months old when Charlie broke in? Rowan said it's not what you think. Was it a consistency error, or was it a clue? That could be an Easter egg. Could it be that we need to go back and look at the outfit that Rowan had on in the episode, and look at the outfit that he had on when Olivia was there? I mean, when he had the baby in the crib, all that stuff. Let's look at that and see if that's an Easter egg. We see next week they're gonna have this whole intervention with Olivia. That's gonna be something to see. We need to see who's actually in that room and how dark it really gets. And is this gonna be the black movie table scene when all the secrets come out in Vermont next week? I think it will be.
Yeah, get ready, LBJ. It's gonna be a Madea movie moment where
I've been got the BD shot. Boom.
Somebody's getting the hot grits or whatever it is she throws.
Exactly.
LBJ, this has been so much fun tonight. Thank you everybody for joining us. I mean, LBJ, it's bittersweet. You know, it's like every episode is fun, and it's so fun chatting with everybody. but it's just this countdown mode, so it's like there's just like it's sad too.
Yes,
But
that
it was
tonight
so
was.
much fun tonight.
It was so much fun. Tonight was now 10 down. Last week was 10 down. We have 9 more episodes left before the very end of Scandal, everyone. So if you love what we're doing here and you love having the conversations live, continue to have the conversation. Share the Scandal recap on your social networks. And if you're watching in the comments, if you're watching after we're live, thank you so much in advance for watching to the very end and commenting. I'll make sure I comment on behalf of myself and Janaya. Until next week, I'm Larry, and that's my friend Janaya over there. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.
Bye. Thank you.